What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Girls Love Talk with Taylor Marie. If you are new here, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below. If you are returning, thank you, thank you. And make sure that y'all like and comment as well. So I'm gonna get straight into the Robyn situation, all right? And I'm gonna speak specifically, just specifically to the Watch What Happens Live and the side chick, mystery chick, whatever you want to call her, coming out and speaking even more on the situation. First things first, I just gotta say, I told y'all, I told y'all, I told y'all. When it comes to Miss Mama's deciding to come out and say more. In my last video, if y'all haven't watched it, go watch it. I said, I specifically said, Robyn had better hope that this girl does not decide, okay, I hear what she's saying. Now I'm gonna come out saying some more stuff. I said that because Robyn was talking way too confidently as if, like the old girl was a liar and, really she was just out here making up stuff and making it seem like it was more than what it is. And that's why she came out um, to speak on it. And I knew, I just knew right then and there, like, girl, okay, I can understand you coming forth to address somebody sitting up here saying something about you, but I do not believe that it's not what this girl say it is because of just by the way Robyn was acting. Because let's say somebody out here saying, "Oh yeah, I mess with such and such man, whatever." You could have debunked that in like a small damn IG post, like, okay, I know y'all is rumors floating around saying that I just want to make it clear that Juan did not do XYZ with this girl. You could have just did it like that. You know what I'm saying? He was, in communication with her, but he never, hung out with her. He was not in no relationship with her, dating her, blah blah blah. Like honestly, we how many times have we seen people of their status do stuff like that, right? They put a little short IG post and they keep it moving, right? But no, Robyn was big pressed because she knew she had been hiding this the whole damn season from her uh what do I want to say? Her coworkers and her bosses. And she was in fear. She was definitely in fear. She knew that this girl was running around telling people stuff. So she felt like I pretty much have to come forward and say something. Oh, you know what? A good way would be let me go on my podcast with Giselle. This will be good for our ratings, our views, and everything. So I really think she thought that she was really on top of things by doing that. Like that's the only reason why she did that. But it was just a terrible idea. Like you really cracked open more than what you had hoped to crack open because again, like girl, you pissed off a lot of people. You ain't. I don't think she pissed off that girl. I don't think she pissed her off. She definitely pissed off the people who she worked with. Probably even pissed Juan off too, Chad, because Juan is looking like you can go out there and explain stuff to people, but I'm not. He was down for hiding everything for the season because he's just like, mm-mm. So I could definitely believe old girl from when earlier, like I said, that when she said that Robyn had asked her to keep quiet. I can definitely believe that. It definitely gave that. Even just due to the fact that this girl had the rumor started floating around, towards the end of the season. Okay, as the season was coming to an end. So I could definitely believe that Robyn asked that girl that. I mean, that was not a doubt in my mind. Um, So anyway, the other thing I wanted to bring forward to y'all is that basically I I know this and a lot of y'all know this. Cheating is not necessarily a deal breaker for everybody. So, I'm sorry to tell some of y'all this, if y'all, but I think we should all know this by now. Everybody got deal breakers. Yeah, some people don't got deal breakers at all. um, but for a lot of people, women or men, like cheating is not necessarily a deal breaker. Like it's not something. It may be something that they say, like, "Oh, I'm not putting up with. I don't condone." But they're kind of more so like we just gotta see, like if or when it happens, we have to see what the nature of it is. Okay. And I do believe that Robyn is one of those. She's more so like, she gives me the vibes of just don't let me find out. Like I don't know. She give me them vibes. Um, I don't know. She could be just so used to, putting up with, because I mean, Juan was in the NBA, and I hate to say it because it's not okay, but a lot of those women who are with guys in that field, they then dealt with a lot of infidelity to the point of where they literally shut down and kind of make themselves take it, or get used to it or just block it out, I believe. And I feel like she's one of those women who has done that, and she's been able to do that for so long to the point where now it's like she feels like, yeah, nothing can bother me. Like, can't no other chick bother me because I've been around. She ain't the first hoe, ain't gonna be the last hoe, probably. So I just wanted to put that out there first because I know some people are like, why would she be with him? It's like the same reason why a lot of people are out here dealing with people who did put them through some stuff. Like, because everybody, got their own things that are a no go for them, or that they feel like they can actually work through. So I can't knock her for that, because to each its own, really, right? But for someone like Juan in her situation, this is just crazy to me because yeah, y'all was together since the '90s, right? Got married and everything, um, had children, all of that good stuff. Went through a lot of things, ended up divorcing each other. He, from what I know, wasn't doing too well financially. Ain't really have too much going on job wise and all of that. Ended up crawling back to her. She let him in because hey, if there's history there, there's love there, and just felt like doing it. I guess they work on just co-parenting too, because that's always a plus to have two parents in the same home for the kids. There's that. But then they, of course, had time to, with them being in the same house, had time to repair their relationship. And that's what they ended up doing. But the problem, that's not a problem. It's not a problem that they got divorced and they got back together. A lot of couples have done that, believe it or not. The problem is that y'all got back together and this motherfucker, this man is still the same man. That's what the problem is. Um, he still got the same issues that apparently he had in the past, and that's the issue. Especially for y'all that had gotten this far to where y'all repaired your relationship with co-parenting. He found a job, finances is going good. Y'all on TV, so you making good money. Plus, on top of Robyn's little side gigs, I don't know if she sell T-shirts and hats, something like that. The podcast and all of that. Cool, cool, cool. But he's still stepping out. And it's just like, that's why it's such a big deal for us, I think, is because we're like, okay, even with understanding that a person, may not really be phased by they man talking to other women or whatever, but some stuff is just like, girl, girl, this is way too much. Um, so Robyn basically on Watch What Happens Live, she when Andy got straight into asking her like, "What's up with this situation? You saying that nothing happened, so can you explain the hotel receipts, yada yada." So Sorry, y'all. So Robyn, she gets to explaining how the girl is from Canada and she and Juan have been talking, communicating, um, and allegedly she was supposed to be flying to Maryland to see some Baltimore Ravens player that she had been talking to, that she had been dealing with. Let me keep going before I say something. And while there, she had still been communicating with Juan, and even to the point of where she went out to a casino, lost her wallet, could not pay for her hotel, and so she decided to call Juan out of all people she could have called, not even the Baltimore Ravens player, um, and asked him could he pay for it, or maybe she didn't ask, but she was just telling him about the situation, and he felt bad for her to the point that he pulled up to the hotel, dropped his card off, and left. And I said, I know you lie. I know this woman that get on national television and say this. There is no way. Ain't no way. Mm-mm. She didn't. She didn't just do that. Robyn, you don't even believe that. And I was right when I said that because she even said like, yeah. At first, I know it sounded like BS. I understand people may feel like it sounded like that, but I didn't believe it at first either. I thought he was BSing me, but um, later on down the line, like I realized, like, I believe him, and it was due to certain stuff that the girl said that I'm like, I'm just looking like, okay, all right, ain't no way in hell they've been talking for this long, for over a year. Um, she decided, and she just so happened to decide to fly there, still conversing with him, but no plans to actually. Bye. Girl, bye. But yeah, she was convinced, very convinced by what Robyn, um, I mean by what Juan had said. So there's that whole foolery. Um, but then so she was doing the interviews on Watch What Happened Live, and we'll get into more of that. But fast forward, the girl heard everything. I'm pretty sure she probably heard the Patreon stuff too, because a lot of people went and paid that $5. I did not. I said somebody gonna bring it forward, so I ain't worried about it. Um, and so she heard everything, and of course she decided to come forward. Giving more information to somebody. She gave it to a YouTuber. What's his page? His channel, Giorgio Says, and basically had like a phone interview with him where she pretty much debunked Robyn's story. Now I'm not gonna sit up here and act like she literally got into everything because she really didn't, but she basically, of course, denied the fact that denied what Robyn said about her coming to meet with somebody else. She said that she was coming out there to see Juan. Of course, that they had been talking for over a year, and the only reason why it took so long for her to come out there was because of the pandemic and the restrictions on travel. And I was just like, well, I mean, thanks for that. I mean, it makes sense for people who did not know. It makes sense for me. I'm just like, I already kind of put that together. Like, okay, y'all have been talking for a while. Got to get to know each other. Got to see if you like each other, feeling each other, build something, and then you fly out there. Now, for some men or women, it ain't even got to be that damn long before they meeting up to see each other. But again, pandemic. So what that tells me too is that if it wasn't the pandemic situation going on and the restrictions on there on travel, baby, they would have been met up, okay? And probably would have met up several times, like, or maybe they did, who knows? Anyway, um, I'm just like, this is a mess. This is a mess. What else? So yeah, she came to the YouTuber. She was telling him basically, Robyn, was lying about why that girl came there. She wasn't coming there to see no other man but Juan, and that they had always planned for to see each other in person. Okay, so that was that. What else? Um, Now we know Robyn said something like how Juan wasn't really interested in the girl. And I think she said that too, of course, to make it look like, okay, yeah, it's nothing more than what this girl is saying. And I think she did that too because the girl was the first person to reach out, okay, to Juan. And I'm guessing that's how they whole, situation started. So for some people, like Robyn, they feel like, oh well, if she reached out first, like my man ain't reached out, that means that she's the one who's thirsty. She's the one who's, just looking for attention or whatnot, from him. Like he wasn't trying to go out to mess around. But that's not that's not always the case, baby. It's not always a thing of who hit who up first. The fact that he was responding and they went, decided to take it from there and get all up close and personal with conversation. He telling this girl that y'all are just co-parenting and y'all just doing it for TV and just basically getting that check. That right there is just like, whew. Um, I cannot. I cannot. But I will say this, girl, as far as her trying to act naive, like she didn't really know that these two were, I guess, like really working on something. Like, girl, you had that in the back of your mind. If a person that you start talking to or whatever, whether you hit them up first or they hit you up first, if they mention anything about having somebody around that's in the picture, you already in the back of your mind should know that there is a possibility that even if they are saying that it ain't what one would think it is, that it could be what one would think it is. So you're not gonna play the naive game with me, honey. But yeah, I was just like, I mean, we already knew to believe her, as far as like, when it came to them two actually really having something going on, because Robyn pretty much tried to downplay it, and it's just like, nah, we knew better. A lot of us knew better. Um, she did say that there were phone calls, text messages, DMs, FaceTimes, and that they communicated all the time. That's believable, right? I mean, if you talking to somebody for over a year, yeah, you're gonna communicate in all types of ways. So that's believable. Which again, too, is like makes it for the meetup. Because baby, if y'all talking for that long, y'all are feeling each other, okay? It probably was sex messages, you know what I'm saying? Dick pics and all types of stuff going on. So they definitely were able to build a good relationship enough to where they both was like eager to see each other, because she said that was always in both of their plans, was to um she come there and meet up with him. Like even when she flew out to Maryland, she was not there to see nobody else. The plan was for her to get there, go get settled in. He meet her at the hotel. She gets settled in, and I guess they go, take things from there with whatever they do. And she said that the whole story where Robyn claims that she went to the hotel and stuff, like she's just like she pretty much was clueless on that. Like I don't even know where that came from. Like denying that, which again we already knew did not. We already knew it didn't make sense. It did not make sense because if she's at a casino and she out here to see this dude, I'm pretty sure she would have been out at the casino with the dude, right? It's just kind of like so needless to even say. Like that's just how bad the story is. Um, of course, she mentioned that he did not just leave his card on the counter and left. that they actually did hang out. When she was asked, when she was asked if she, had sexual relations with him, her response to that was like, "I'm not here to, try to hurt Robyn." So you already know what that means. You already know what that means. We don't have to hear the details. We know what's up. And plus, again, I mean, well, if you think like how I think, I don't know, everybody don't think the same, but usually when somebody flying out to meet somebody else, baby, yeah, it's some relations happening. Okay, I'm not saying that every guy or woman is like that, but in a lot of cases, it's been that for sure. Juan was not talking to her for the whole year plus, and when he finally get the chance to see her, he was gonna have her come there, and they just still do what? Just only communicate? Like, no, it just never made sense. Like, why would some man agree to pay this woman's hotel room for her, but she out there to see somebody else? And but the whole, it's just like, Robyn, how could you even believe that part when you already knew that he was talking to her for as long as he was talking to her? You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't even make sense. He's talking to her for this long, and then she decides that she's coming out there to, but to see another man. Okay, like, that's just not making sense. It would have made more sense, like, Robyn, since you was gonna be on here lying or trying to share what Juan told you, the lies what Juan told you, because that's what it sounded like, he made this up. um you could have at least said this girl was coming out to see like her family. Okay, you could have said that, because it don't make no sense for her to have been coming out to see a whole nother dude, but she's still communicating with Juan and asking and reaches out to him to help her pay. I mean, well, pay for her hotel. But let me rewind. I'm not gonna act like it's not possible for somebody to be talking to more than one person at a time, because it is possible. But I just do not see her literally. She was flying. She telling another dude who's a bachelorette is telling one of the dudes that they talking to, hey, yeah, I'm flying out here to see this other dude. Okay, like, girl. Anyway, anyway, what else? What else? Mm-mm-mm. Cause see, I made some little notes because I be forgetting stuff. Um, so sorry, y'all. I don't know why this might be losing connection, but I also thought, what if this girl, because we don't know what she looked like. This is a phone interview that she did with this YouTuber or whatnot, right? Nobody knows what she looks like. What if what if she's the Georgetown girl? Okay. Like, couldn't that's what I really started thinking, because I'm like, I mean, Karen described what the girl looked like. Now, even though she kind of tried to say this girl looked like her, which I thought was hilarious. I'm like, like, are you just, I, Karen, Karen is extra. But what if Karen, this is the girl? Because just because he walking with a girl in Georgetown don't mean that the girl can't be from Canada. Okay. And again, he was literally talking to this girl for over a year. Okay. Now, can some guys talk to somebody for that long but still be like, "Oh, to hell with her"? Once they think things didn't went too far. Yes, they could, but they could also be like, no, like, baby, let's keep this thing going. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm-mm, you already know about my girl, so yeah, it could have been that. Um, it could have been, and but at the same time, maybe not, because if she was kicking it with him out in Georgetown and all of that, I think she would have let us know, like, yeah, we actually, I don't know. But either way, that's still that whole situation with the Georgetown thing. That's still a bad thing that Robyn, you over here discussing his situation with another chick, and then somebody else over here saying that there's another girl. Like, I don't know how she do it. She's a very strong woman. Oh, my nose getting stopped up. I hate that. Um, what else? Um, Now, when she said that he told her the whole thing of we just doing it for TV, hey, all of that. I mean, I definitely don't think she's lying about that. I can definitely hear Juan saying that, especially, from our standpoint as viewers. If you've been watching Potomac for a while, you wouldn't, for sure that they always, it was a running joke of calling Robyn Juan's roommate. You know what I mean? Because it was just like, these two really had no, like, we didn't see any type of romance or love connection. Like, it was just, we just in the same house, taking care of kids, working. It just it was no type of like togetherness as far as couple wise, but togetherness just as it looked like a co-parenting relationship. Okay, but they just happen to be under the same roof. That's what it appeared to be. So I'm pretty sure at some point in their relationship, things did get to that, to where they kind of lost their way. That happens in relationships. So um, I do believe that he probably told her that, and then why wouldn't he tell her that? Because men like Juan know that if a chick already know and seen that you are Juan Dixon and you are with this girl, you're with Robyn, you're gonna have to tell her something for her to be able to be comfortable with messing with you, right? So why wouldn't he tell her that? Um, but her talking about try to act like she was just blindsided or whatever, it's just like, no, like blindsided as far as like them two finding out them two were actually really together, and it wasn't like how he said the relationship was. I don't believe she was necessarily blindsided. I mean, I'm not gonna act like it's not possible, but I don't really believe that. Like, you can't put nothing past side chicks. No shade, but shade. I don't know if she was really blindsided by that, or maybe she was though, because I mean, some people got that G like that. I guess one got that G, baby, um, and was putting it down because, yeah, I just don't see how she was blindsided. And again, for us on the outside looking in, unless you just don't really know a lot of people, or you just kind of live in a box, or something, there has been a lot of scenarios, a lot of situations that I've witnessed, um, to where, on TV and in real life, to where, how can I put it, where a person who is stepping out on their relationship, they step out, right, by whether it's by like they literally physically in person seeing this person, or they're stepping out by just like communicating with this, with another person who they're not supposed to be communicating with, right? Which is why I say whether he did something with this girl or not, he still was wrong for talking to this girl. But in Robyn's world, that's not a problem. Anyway, you stepping out because you're talking to somebody else, right? And your interest and intentions are to, talk to them as if you're trying to get to know them, as if you were interested in dating them. Okay, so there's that. We're not, I've seen this a lot of times where people step out, they're talking to somebody, right? Um, Maybe they hitting it off, really feeling each other or vibing with each other. Good little communication back and forth. Little buddy old pal, right? But because that person is actually stepping out on somebody else that they ain't let go of, at some point in time, that person is going to drop you like a bad habit, because guess what? They never made their mind up. They never really knew that they for sure was dropping they current situation. And I feel like I say that because I want it to be known that that's pretty much what Juan did. Okay, he didn't go looking for this girl, but we already know that Juan, he did win in a lot of situations, and I'm pretty sure he hits up girls, girls hit up him. Um, I just feel like in this situation, she hit him up. He was intrigued, got to know her, feeling her. He bored. Robyn, according to her, he was bored. It was the pandemic, and so he needed somebody to talk to. Even though he had a woman at the house, he could have been talking to. And so they had what they had. Um, so I don't believe she was blindsided by them two actually being more than what by Juan and Robyn relationship being more than what he said it was. I just think that she always felt like because he said that they just co-parents and what yada yada, that eventually he was gonna be done with her and free to be able to really move like a single man. I'll say that, if that makes sense to y'all. Um, Sorry, my mic keep disconnecting. I gotta really work on that. But as far as the Patreon part, I'm glad I didn't pay the $5. Robyn sat up there saying how this girl. Now there's another thing that had me laughing. She said that this girl had requested $4,000 from either her or Juan, one of them. Um, and I'm just like, okay. And the girl debunked that by saying, like, girl, we can't even use Zelle here in Canada, which I didn't even know. I mean, but why would I know? I'm not in Canada. But, so the girl debunked that. Now, Robyn, what you gonna say? Oh, I meant to say, Cash App. Like, girl, just after this, leave it alone. Don't come out with nothing else. Don't say nothing else. Like, it just is what it is. It's bad. It looks bad. None of y'all look good. And then now you got this whole situation going on with you and your cast and the people you work with. They looking at you funny because they feel like, hey, we on this show where the main thing that's asked of us is to be as transparent as possible, because we are supposed to be sharing our world and things that we go through, and you pretty much went through the whole season sitting on sitting on things. Now I'm trying to make it as fair as possible or really see it from all angles. She did share with us that she was getting married. she shared with us that she was getting married and that she was thinking about prenups and all that, which she did not end up getting. uh, she shared that, but my thing is like, it's the whole thing that you only shared stuff that you, of course, thought, okay, this will make me look good, you know. Which I think a lot of people do that. They, of course, want the stuff that make them look good, right? But had you, opened it up the season with, yeah, me and Juan, we're still working on wedding plans, blah blah blah. However, there was a situation that happened where, you know, Juan had been talking to a girl. He had been talking to a girl, communicating with her, but you know, we basically figured that out and worked through that. She could have just said that. Like, I just feel like sitting on it was, I don't know, but it backfired on her because the very thing you did not want to do, you did not want people to know, you didn't want people to know your business. You ended up coming forth telling your business. Like, it just, I don't know, it didn't work out in her favor. Juan, of course, needless to say, you for sure had a whole relationship going on with that. Granted, didn't want anybody knowing about this, but then you ended up spilling the whole tea. Um, Let me see. What else was it? that I wanted to say. Now, I must warn you, we would have still been talking stuff about you for sure. Like, Juan, your child, Juan, he did what, and they still working on getting married and having his wedding. We still was gonna talk our stuff, but we wouldn't have been able to get as much information as we got now, of where like we know that the girl met up with him here and there, and like we would have known all of that. And I think you would have been able to deal with more versus right now, you kind of like, girl, everything is all over the place. Um, as far as the Watch What Happens Live, it was good. I like that Andy asked all of the questions that a lot of us had for her. I like that they let a few of the viewers from home call in and ask her stuff. But it was not explosive like how a lot of these people be. um, what we're out here saying. I knew for sure that people had been saying like, "Oh, Robyn got fired. Robyn gets fired. Robyn storms off." Because guess what? It's about clickbait. It's about making it. Like this is already a hot story. Why not make it even more? Yeah, this is happening. Like it wasn't that explosive. He was not going in on her. None of that. She ain't storm off. None of that. It was none of that. He just asked good questions. He did not BS when it came to asking the stuff that we all clearly wanted to know, including him. So I say he did a good job with that. But I just couldn't believe that she really had the nerve to tell that story on TV, because it's just like, girl, it don't make sense, but it makes sense to her, so whatever. um she will not be being fired. I'm going here to say it. She not getting fired. Do I think she should get fired? I'm not even gonna say that she should. I'm not, because Robyn's not a bad person to have on the show. She's one of the OGs. She does have personality and whatnot. I think she just, due to her being an OG and being a person who's been on the, an OG to the show, like she's been on there for what, 7 seasons so far. I think that it was just like most people when they've been doing something for so long. They feel like they're a pro at it, and they learn different strategies on how they can, make things work to their advantage. They know one of the big advantages to the show is that they get paid some good money to be on there. Okay, definitely, if you've been on there long enough too, your pay probably is very well. It ain't no way they coming back doing that every year, and not getting paid well. Okay, there's a lot of great things that come with the show. Got a lot of great perks. So it's a reason why she's been there, even though she wanna play games and not share certain stuff. I think it's just because she wanted to control the narrative. She's like, okay, yeah, I like being on here. I do have people that I've got to meet and I'm cool with, whatever. Um, I do like the exposure. I like the opportunities I get from it, all of that good stuff, money, yada yada. But I don't like that people get to be all up in my business. I think she just, and I think the other girls feel like that at times too. Like, I don't like for people to be able to know stuff that I really don't care for them to know. But it's like at the end of the day, this is literally, it's your job to share your life with us. So like for her, it hurt her because it hurt to share it because of Juan's already tricky, shady past, So she just wanted to control the narrative. She wanted the season to be a good one for her, as far as like, hey, I can call out everybody else and talk about what they may or may not be doing, but ain't nobody really got nothing on me. But anyway. Anyway, yeah, she not getting fired. But one thing she does need to realize though, Robyn, is that they gonna be on you. Okay, I don't think they're gonna fire you, but they're definitely gonna be on you about um you really being more open as to like really letting us know like it is not to say like, okay, what are you and Juan doing today? What's this? What's that? Like, not like that, but you just need to be like how everybody else was. We got to see you and and your loved one hanging out, doing stuff together, like you and him and the kids doing stuff together. Robyn, we didn't really get a whole lot of that. So I'll say that. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much all I really had is that as far as the stuff with her and the castmates and them being pissed off at her and all of that, like that's a whole nother thing within itself. So I didn't really want to, dive in to that on this, but I definitely just wanted to speak to the whole mystery woman situation, and then the watch what happens live. Can't believe you got up there and said what you said, but I guess it makes sense if she really, really believes down deep down in her heart that that is what happened and that, you know, nothing happened. So after this, it really ain't no need to keep going in on Robyn. It ain't. It is what it is. She she hurt more from this than anybody else, even if her castmates are mad at her, like she still this really did not make her or Juan look good. Oh, and one last point I wanted to make. Ain't it a damn shame how she is out here windmilling for Juan, and this is something that Juan did. I feel like it would have been way more. It would have just looked different seeing Juan be a man and literally come forth and explain, you know, what he did to damn near ruin his relationship that he's supposed to be already done rebuilt in on good terms in. Okay. It would have been nice to hear him come forward and talk about that because you are the one who was doing what you was doing. Okay. You left Robyn out there hanging, trying to salvage things and make things, smooth things over. And I don't like that. I do not like that. This is your situation. This is what make me not like him because it's just like, dude, and then of course he was not on the reunion either. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't be out here doing, especially if you out here doing public things. This is very public. That's very public of you to be out here meeting up with women and stuff and all of that. Like, anyway, that was my last point I had to make. Is that I had to make was that Robyn should not have even been left out there to down that hill for Juan. She should not have. He should have spoke out, but I think he did not because he just like a lot of men when they do messed up stuff, they don't want to talk about it. It's just over. That's it. I told you I ain't messing with her no more. Like they be done. And then I think it's also because he knew like that probably would have really triggered old girl. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have triggered her to really be like, oh, he wanna play games with me, he wanna break my heart. He know that we was this, that, and now he's sitting up, I think it's different if he got his woman Robyn up here defending him because then it's like, oh, okay, they can just have a little girl on girl kind of cat fight, cat argument going, and that be that, back and forth. But either way, Juan, you ain't right. You ain't right, and I don't think I will ever like him because of that. I don't care what type of chemistry they got. The wedding was really nice. I saw how it looked on, the season finale. It was very beautiful. However, I don't give a damn how much history they got and how much he really does love her. I know he love her, but you definitely don't know how to really do monogamy. And unless y'all got an open relationship or y'all got like a special add-on to your relationship, then I guess the talking to other women thing ain't a bad thing. But if y'all supposed to be in a monogamous relationship, what you're doing is wrong. And you're doing stuff behind her back, so it just lets it be known that you definitely are doing some things that y'all did not agree to. So that's all I gotta say about it, guys. You guys let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comments. Please be sure to like this video, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so that you can find out more. And until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.